YouTube! Welcome to the Fantasy Football Perspective. I'm your host, Lucas. Thanks for coming back to my channel, and a special thanks to everyone who made my last video pop off. 600 views, 13 likes. That's by far my most interactions I've ever had on a video. So thank you. I really do appreciate it. I am going to continue that series. Last video, I did a draft from the 8th position. Today's video, I'm going to go to the front of the draft and we'll do a draft from the number 2 position. Honestly, I probably should have been doing this the last couple weeks to give you a wider range of different spots on the draft board and how I would draft, but it is what it is. These next 3 weekends, including last weekend, are by far the most likely weekends that your league's going to draft. So hopefully you get to see this video before your draft, and if you're drafting from the number 2 spot, I got those tips and tricks to help you win your league. If I say anything during this video that you find useful, you think may help you win, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'd like to see these views get up to 1,000 this time. Shooting for the stars, but I got 600 last time, so it's definitely possible. Again, like the video, share the video. I appreciate you all. Let's get into this. All right, headset on. It seems like the volume was okay when I first talked, but now I have my headset on, and let's get into this draft. First, let's go over the draft settings. This is a draft that I'm in next weekend. It is a 12-team league. It is actually a keeper league. I'm not really going to get into the keeper league. We're going to just start from scratch because I know a lot of people don't do the keeper league settings. Roster settings, which is important. 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 flex positions, kicker, defense, 5 bench spots. I'm just going to do 4, and I am drafting from the 2nd spot. So before I get into this, the number one thing that's going to separate you as a fantasy football player is knowing your roster and league settings before you go in. Is it a PPR league? Is it a half PPR league? What's the roster construction? Is there 2 flex positions? Is there a 3 wide receiver, 2 running back? Is it a super flex? Super flex, for instance, raises the value of a QB for your league. If you have a 1 QB league, you can legit punt the position to the 6th or 7th round and get a top 12 of QB, and it doesn't hurt you that bad. I also, in these types of leagues, with 1 tight end, not super flex, I try to go for positional advantages at the tight end position. And what I mean by that is I try to get one of the top 3 tight ends, because if you can land Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, or whoever that 3rd tight end you think it is, Kyle Pitts or Darren Waller, land one of those 3, and that's an extra 5 points usually a week that you're starting off with compared to your opponent. It's a lot of room to make up on a week-to-week basis if you're just going off that alone. So keep that in mind. Know your league settings and draft accordingly. So again, this is a standard league. The only thing that I would say is a little bit different is there's a extra flex position, and it's PPR. That's it. Everything else is the same. The bench is smaller than normal leagues. I think they actually have 5. I'll just go ahead and add that. So you have to be very, very careful about who you're going to put on your bench. But that's good. We're going to dig into this now. Go start it. Get that off there. And we're off. So see what happens. So, dream scenario. Pray this happens in our league. I absolutely love Christian McCaffrey this year in the PPR league. He is phenomenal. I know he's been injured the last 2 years, and that scares a lot of people, but I am a former athletic trainer, and I'm here to say his injuries have not been something to make me concerned of, future injuries to the same thing. It's not an ACL tear. It's not a... Wow, that beep is annoying. Wow. Ooh, sounds. Take those sounds off. It's not an ACL tear. It's not something that's like going to change the way he mechanically moves. I think it was like a high ankle sprain that he rested from and a hamstring strain, if I remember. Christian McCaffrey is definitely going to be 100%, and he should be fresh. He didn't play very much. Christian McCaffrey 2 years ago, if you had him on your team, you won 33% of the leagues that you were in. Think about that. 33% of the time, if you had Christian McCaffrey on your team, you won your league. So, no other player in fantasy football gives you that edge. If he's just a fraction of that, and let's say he has a little bit of decline and it's 25%, that's a heck of an advantage against your opponents. You are going to win one of 4 leagues where you draft Christian McCaffrey. I want all the shares of it. He has the highest ceiling in fantasy football. Sign me up. And look who's there waiting for me. What I say at the beginning of this video, in 1 QB, 1 tight end leagues, give me the positional advantage at tight end all day. Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews preferred. Mark Andrews is sitting there yelling my name. Lock that in. Dream start. Coming back around, and I have these receivers here, but I absolutely love Leonard Fournette this year. Leonard Fournette was legit averaging at the end of the season. How many catches was he getting? He was going 7, 4, 7, 7, 6, 8. He was averaging 7 catches a game the last 6 games. If that continues and Leonard Fournette's getting that workhorse role, he's a locked and loaded RB1 on the season. Probably top 5 if I had to guess, because he didn't really take over that catching role to that week 10 after that bye. And everything out of camp's telling me that he's the man. He's going to get all the work. Leonard Fournette in round 3. I'm not kidding, ladies and gentlemen. If I started with this, that is a legit dream start in my opinion. Let's see how everyone else is drafting. You know, some people go receiver in the first round. I don't love going receiver in the first round. I think if you're going to go something that's not a running back, you do go Travis Kelce to give that positional advantage. There's just tons of receivers that are going to give you around the same value. So now we're here, and I don't really love anybody. If I don't love anybody, like I can get one. I have these positions, like these receivers, all ranked around the same for me. None of them really stand out. None of them is jumping off the page telling me to click them. So what I would do here, since I have Mark Andrews, I probably will reach on the QB and take Lamar Jackson. He was having a phenomenal season last year. It's kind of going under the radar because he got hurt. So I'm getting a stack. Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews stack, and 2 running backs that I think legit have top 5 upside. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a dream start. I am loving this squad. But now we got to look at the receivers. You know, everyone's on this Courtland Sutton train. I don't have any Courtland Sutton shares, I'm not going to lie. But I think this is a perfect opportunity to the 5th round where, you know, he's going usually at 51, and we're sitting at 60, 61. You're getting a 10 ADP discount. I think it's probably time that I get a share. Yeah, I think he's probably the best option here. With Russell Wilson, the QB that can actually get him the ball, why not? We'll throw in Courtland Sutton there as my wide receiver 1. I saw that today Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton go back-to-back in fantasy drafts. Just kind of crazy. But Courtland Sutton's kind of been dropping lately for whatever reason. But don't neglect the breakfast discount. Courtland Sutton was eating breakfast with Russell Wilson just like Cooper Kupp was with Matthew Stafford. We saw how that ended. So here, is there anyone I love? I like Bateman, but I already have a lot of that offense. I don't know if I want to keep continuing to build on that offense. Is there any running backs that fell that are sticking out to me? No running backs are falling. So I'm probably going to go best in my rankings at this point. So I probably get two out there. Thielen is definitely intriguing, but he's getting up there in age, 32. The dip is definitely coming. If we look back towards the end of last year, there was a lot of games where he didn't play, and that kind of scares me if you want me to be real. Is he going to end up? But they did change the offense, and if I pick Thielen here, I'm definitely going to have a chance at one of these 3 on the way back. So we're just going to do it. I like Adam Thielen's new offense. They're really going to throw the ball more. They're going to run 3 wide receiver sets at a higher pace, is what the coach said. Last year, Minnesota Vikings led the NFL in 2 wide receiver sets. 3 on the field now means more passing. Sign me up when that higher. And look, they didn't even take anybody. So then, I mean, I think I got to, man. I think I have to take Bateman here. It does make me a little nervous. I don't love Bateman. I really don't. Do I diversify the wealth here? I don't have any Gabe Davis shares. We're going to go right there. Gabe Davis is intriguing to me. I think that he definitely is a little overvalued. There was a point on Underdog where he was getting drafted in the 5th round, the beginning of the 5th round. But in the 7th round, I mean, you have to expect the Buffalo Bills to have the highest scoring offense in the league. You just have to. They added weapons to their. They have another year of. Well, this is a no-brainer for me. This guy's climbing the draft boards. They have getting back to the Bills. They have another year together to build that camaraderie. It looks like McKenzie's coming to his own. Davis scored a touchdown in the preseason. Stephon Diggs is still there. They have weapons after weapons. You know Josh Allen's going to throw the ball. It's going to be a good year. So we're here. I have 4 decent to good running receivers that I like, and this is probably when I'll take my next running back. This guy right here, ladies and gentlemen, Ramondre Stevenson. I think there is a chance that he takes over that backfield sooner than later. He's already kind of building into that James White role, and it seems like he's getting more and more carries by the day. So Ramondre Stevenson, definitely a steal at that late in the draft. I think he's going to be RB1 on the Patriots by the end of the year. We'll just take a look here and see if there's anyone I love. A lot of people taking QBs. I would have liked to get 2 good QBs, but it is what it is. George Pickens, man, staring at me in the face. I think he has high upside. We're getting to that point now where I'm picking bench players. So you want those players that have a chance to pop. George Pickens is definitely that guy that has a chance to pop. It's probably when I'm going to take my second QB here. And give me the rushing upside of Fields. Oof. I love the rushing upside of Fields. But their offensive line sucks so bad. So I'm actually going to go safety. And I already have Thielen, so it gives me another stack. So give me Kirk Cousins. A lot of people probably will say go Fields in that position, but Kirk Cousins, when you have Adam Thielen, is a stack to play just in case something happens to Lamar Jackson. These guys all pick tight ends or kickers and defenses already. I'm definitely not doing that till the end. I need another running back and I need another running back and I need another tight end, and then I'll kick my kicker and defense. Irv Smith. Again, Irv Smith, like I just said, the Vikings are going to unload their pass game a little bit. Give me some pieces off that offense. And we'll recap everything at the end. We'll look at some other teams to see what we think. Defense. It's all about the schedule. I think they could be a sneaky defense to finish top 10. I think the Colts have an easy matchup week 1. So I've been kind of trying to snag the Colts. But longevity, who they have week 1, Seattle. There you go. Easy week 1 matchup. I do stream defenses and kickers based on their matchup. So you want to just find the defenses playing the Seahawks, the Texans, teams like that, the lower level teams, and kind of pick on them. Then kickers. Don't make this harder than what it is. Pick a kicker that you know is going to be on an offense that scores a lot of points. San Francisco should score a lot of points. Easy. Don't overthink it. So there we are. So, final draft board. Let's go through this real quick. I kicked it off with Christian McCaffrey. I got that positional advantage at Mark Andrews, who was the tight end 1 on the year last year. I circled back with Leonard Fournette, who, with all indications, is the workhorse running back for a Tom Brady-led offense. Sign me up. Comes back around. There was no receivers that I loved. If Michael Pittman would have been here at the 411, I definitely would have taken Michael Pittman over Lamar. FYI, I think Michael Pittman has some real upside. Anybody else would I have taken? I think DJ Moore's overrated every year. Jerry Jeudy, we don't know what he can do. That's all just speculation, to be honest with you. DK Metcalf's intriguing, but his quarterback situation is absolutely horrible. Deontay Johnson seems like every year they get another receiver that's going to compete in targets. Or I think I probably would have taken McLaurin. So McLaurin or Pittman, I would have taken him over Lamar Jackson. Neither was there, so I went and locked up to Lamar, Mark Andrews stack. Circling back around, Courtland Sutton. I just don't have any shares of Courtland Sutton. He has super high upside. Definitely not the safest pick. Definitely not the safest pick. If I was going for safety, Marquise Brown is probably safer. Mike Williams is going to be part of a more explosive or equally explosive offense. So definitely safer, but highest ceiling, probably Courtland Sutton, to be honest with you. It comes back around. I would have loved to get St. Brown here or Juju. I don't have many shares of them either, but Thielen in a higher paced offense, not a bad pick. Very high ceiling. It's all about how healthy he stays. Gabriel Davis, again, high scoring offense. I think that he has the opportunity to potentially score 10 to 15 touchdowns this year. I mean, heck, he scored, 3 or 4 in one game last year, so he has that in the realm of possibilities. Going back around, Allen Lazard just seems to be, the man. I know that Dobbs is getting a lot of attention right now for what he's doing in the preseason, but there's also reports coming out of Packers camp that Aaron Rodgers is not happy with any of the younger receivers, and they drop a lot of balls. So I don't like that. I think if it was Rodgers' world and he had his pick, I think he would legit start all the older players like Lazard, Cobb, and Sammy Watkins. So something to keep in mind and follow. Circle back around, Ramondre Stevenson. I'm liking him more and more as time goes. I think he's already taken over the James White role in practice, and if that continues to happen and he can start getting a little bit more early down role, I think he could be legit the best handcuff or potential option to take over backfield in fantasy football. Coming back through, we got George Pickens, who just looks like an absolute steal for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sucks as a Browns fan, but man, does he look like a steal. Kirk Cousins, going to throw the ball more this year. Enough said. Good backup. Darrell Henderson, again, a very high value backup. Remember, he's backing up Cam Akers, who is coming off an Achilles injury. There has been no players that are like an offensive playmaker that relies on explosive ability come back successfully to a football field with an Achilles injury. Yes, Cam Akers came back quick, which was remarkable, but he was not efficient at all with his touches. Could he prove me wrong? Could he prove everyone wrong? I know I'm not the only one that has that opinion. I wish him nothing but the best. He could prove us wrong. I just think it's highly unlikely. Circling back through, Irv Smith, high potent offense again. Going to throw the ball more. Give me some more pieces off that. My defense, the Broncos, purely picking them off their first week matchup against the Seattle Seahawks. Easy money. Probably the worst team in the NFL. So give me the defense going against that team. And then kicker, give me a kicker off a high-scoring potential offense. I think San Francisco should be in the red zone a lot, which leads to many field goals. Excuse me. So that wraps up this mock draft from the 2 slot. I really like the 2 slot this year. I mean, you're going to get your chance of Jonathan Taylor or Christian McCaffrey. You're going to have a positional advantage at the running back position each and every week if you get one of those 2 spots, which is ideal to win a fantasy football championship. If I said anything during this video that you liked, you think is going to be helpful to win your league, you'd like the advice, my player breakdown, drop a like, drop a question below. I'm happy to answer any questions. If you disagree with any of my picks and think I should have went another way, let me know below. I'm happy to answer anything. I really appreciate all of your support. Let's get this video to 1,000 views. I appreciate you all. Have a good day. Peace.